All right, so finding the equation for the line through a point. In this one, it's through a point and is perpendicular to another line. Frequently, you'll get questions where it's either find the equation line through 2 points, and so you have to find the slope there, and then kind of go from there. Or maybe you'll be given the slope in some means, either by giving just straight out told what the slope is, being given a parallel line, or in this case, a perpendicular line. And we'll have to reason out what the slope of our new line will be. And now jumping from this right to general form or standard form be really difficult. And so we're going to kind of go through a process that leads us there. And even finding slope-intercept form would be a bit easier, but point-slope form is really our quickest method. And so if you're ever asked to give the equation of a line, but not told in what form, you may really want to consider giving it in point-slope form. It can be just a little bit quicker for you. All right, now here we go. We're going to start out by taking the line that it's perpendicular to, this one right here, and getting the opposite reciprocal. So we've got 2x minus y equals 4, and we just need to find the slope of this. And so maybe we're going to change it into slope-intercept form. So we'll subtract 2x from each side, which leaves us with negative y equals negative 2x plus 4. Divide each side by negative 1. And we end up with y equals 2x minus 4. Now that, just to sketch that line out, we would have minus 4. So down here somewhere 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a slope of 2. That line looks something like that. Now what we're doing here, and this is just to kind of help get our mind wrapped around it, is that at the point 1, negative 4, so 1, negative 4, there's going to be a point over here, and the one that is perpendicular to this red line goes through. And so we're going to sketch a perpendicular line through there. It's trying to meet it up at a 90-degree angle. And there we go. So what we're doing right now is finding the equational line of this blue line here. We're given this red line, the 2x minus y equals 4, and we're given a point that our new line will go through and told that it's perpendicular. So with that information, now we can kind of get off and running. So with the slope of the first line being 2, the one that we're going to want to use is the negative reciprocal of that, the opposite reciprocal, which is going to be negative 1/2. That's the slope. Oops, that's the slope that we're going to be using, is negative 1/2 for our line. That's our m value. So point slope form, we're going to have y minus y1 equals this slope times x minus x1. And we can start plugging some various things in. We know what the slope is. So we'll have equals negative 1/2 times, and actually we know what our points are going to be as well. So x and y. So y minus negative 4, that's y plus 4, is equal to negative 1/2 times x minus 1. Okay, so again, this was y minus negative 4, and over here x minus 1. So we get the equation and of y plus 4 is equal to negative 1/2 times x minus 1. There we go. That's our point slope form, and got there pretty quickly. For slope-intercept form, we got two different ways to go about it. You may have learned way back when you first started learning about slope-intercept form, you have y equals mx plus b, and you would plug in your slope once you found it. So y equals negative 1/2 times x plus b, and then you can actually plug in your point that it's going through. So we'd have negative 4 equals negative 1/2 times our x value, 1, plus b. And so we can multiply out and go through algebraically and solve for b. So we have negative 4 equals negative 1/2 plus b. We're going to add 1/2 to each side. So we get negative 3 1/2, which is negative 7 halves equals b, and then you'd come back up to this line right here, and you'd plug it in your b value now that you've solved for it. And you'd get minus 7 halves. So y equals negative 1 half x minus 7. Now if we already have, and there's a quick reminder of how you would go about doing that, but if we already have it in point slope form, what we're going to do is we're going to start here and just multiply everything out and distribute and get y by itself, because we want to get to y equals mx plus b. So either way of these is the method we just ran through a second ago, or this method now, both are going to be very acceptable. Whichever one is best for the situation, that's what you should use. So we're trying to get here, we're starting at y plus 4 equals negative 1 half times x minus 1. All right, so we're going to distribute out that 1 half. So y plus 4 equals negative 1 half x plus 1 half. Just distributed out the 1 half there. Now we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. And as you can see, we'll end up getting that same slope. Y equals negative 1 half x minus 7 halves. So 1 half minus 4 is negative 7 halves. And there we go. Now it's in slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is going to be the one that is most useful to get to standard form or general form. So we have y equals, we're going to start, actually let's remind ourselves of where we're trying to get to. Standard form is going to be a times x plus by equals c. And remember that a needs to be positive, and both a, b, and c need to be integers. Alright, so we've got, starting from right here, we're having y equals negative 1 half x minus 7 halves. And if we look at this form here and see that we're trying to get to ax plus by, those are both on the left side of the equal sign. Hopefully see we need to add 1 half x to each side. So add 1 half x plus 1 half x. And if you had gone through and just wanted to get rid of your fractions first, that would have been a very acceptable way to go about it. Both are great methods. But here I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 half x first. So 1 half x plus y, because y is positive here, equals negative 7 halves. Alright, and now we want to get rid of our fractions. We're not allowed to have fractions when it's in standard form. And looking through, remember, fractions are just division problems, and so I've got 1 half, that's 1 divided by 2, and I don't want it there, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. The inverse operation of division being multiplication. So if it's being divided by 2, let's multiply everything by 2. And that 2 needs to get distributed to both parts over here. We end up with, well, what is 2 divided by 2? That's 1, and we're left with 1x. So x, and then 2 gets distributed over here. So x plus 2y equals, and over here, 2 divided by 2 gives us 1, and 1 times negative 7 is negative 7. So there we are in general form. We went from point slope form to slope intercept to general form. All right, I hope that helps.